Hello, I'm Felicity and I'm coordinating It Takes a Village, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. So, our program came about after I was running the pause program for the last 5 years. And over 5 years, 57 women who came through pause, which supports women who've had children removed from their care who who are at risk of repeat removal. Those 57 women had 170 children removed from their care. That's a huge financial and human cost. The costs financially of over those 90 children that remained in Southwark's care over 5 years was over £8 million. But also that cost goes on over the years, and that human cost goes on over the years, because if you've been in care, you're much more likely to have a child removed from your care. Um, and we were asked, pause is a bit like parking the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff and waiting for people to fall off. What's going on and what are we going to do about it? And that's how It Takes a Village came about. And it turns out that what we're looking at is multiple disadvantage, which means social inequalities such as racism, poverty, classism, layered on with adverse childhood experiences such as trauma, sexual abuse, physical abuse, neglect, that then give rise to compromised physical, mental health and social health, to shame, and to punitive or reactive contact with services such as having kids removed, getting in contact with the criminal justice system, and finally can often end up in very, very sharp rates of early mortality. So pause women, for example, are 30 times more likely to die before the age of 40 than a woman in the average population. So this is a picture of some of the intersecting needs that the people that we support face. And really that's what multiple disadvantage is. So it's a social inequality thing. Black women in Southwark are twice as likely to have children removed from their care as white women. Over that 5-year period that pause was operating, we noted that 58% of women who were working with pause were care leavers themselves. Why does this matter? Well, this is a really cool group of people, and we are cutting off our noses to spite our faces when we miss out that fact. It's also cheaper to get preventative. Over 5 years, we cost avoided just under £2 million, working with only 57 women. So how about we change the system so that everyone can fit, including people facing the harshest health and social inequalities? Let's put them at the front of the queue, not the back of the queue, for health and support. And let's redress the systematic ignoring and devaluing of communities and individuals' wisdom. Some of the stuff we're calling bad behavior is actually related to what happens when you shame, oppress, and silence human beings through trauma, and communities through poverty, racism, and classism. Let's focus on learning. And one of the ways that we're doing this is the mic drops, tiny pops of tools and techniques, all delivered by people with lived experience, clinicians, social workers. Everybody's got something to teach. Everybody's got something to learn. Often less than 5 minutes long. Sometimes this one that we just dropped was 14 minutes on how to use compassion to challenge each other's racism. This is what you can do. Please watch the mic drops and share them. They're relevant to everybody. Ask us how your department can be hard to access for people facing multiple disadvantage, and really listen to the answer. Then set up some reviewable action plans with us for making it easier. If you're developing a new policy, practice, or service, don't exclude multiple disadvantage. Ask us to ask how you can make reasonable adjustment to make your service or policy or practice easy to access to people facing multiple disadvantage.